involved in the scheduling during your first 4 years when you were under Coach Smart, when you were here, or was that something else that was handled by other guys?
We had somebody else who handled it, but I would help. I did our scheduling when I was at Harvard, which is just brutal because the Ivy League only plays 14 league games. So you have to go schedule the most non-league games of anybody in the country, and then you've got some budget limitations. And I did our scheduling when I was at Clemson as well. So, and then when I was at Chattanooga, I did our scheduling also as the head coach. So I've spent plenty of time with scheduling, and I always say, you know, scheduling's the only time coaches lie more than recruiting. So it does have some difficulties with it.
Easier or harder now in 2015 to schedule VCU basketball than it was maybe in 2009 when you and the staff were here for the first time?
I think it's easier. I think teams want to play us. Teams are not scared to play, and they realize that there's mutual benefit for both of us in playing.
All right, well, we've got 13 games, so let's get things started as we debut the 2015-16 VCU men's basketball schedule. We're going to start things off on Friday night, November 13th at the Siegel Center. The Siena Saints will be coming to town. They're coached by one of the all-time popular coaches in NCAA basketball, Jimmy Patsos. They were 11-20 last year, part of the Metro Atlantic Conference. So Siena here for the first game, opening night, part of the 2K Classic.
Yep, that's part of our 2K Classic where we go to New York, and Jimmy Patsos is certainly a character, but he's a very, very good coach, learned under Gary Williams, and they've got some good players. They've got a kid, Marquise Wright, a guard who's one of the better guards in the MAC, maybe the best guard in the MAC. Then they've got a kid, Brett Bidding, who's a pick-and-pop four-man, who set out this past year. He got hurt. He had to redshirt, but they won the CBI actually 2 years ago, and he was a huge part of that, and he got hurt in the preseason and ended up sitting out. So they have a couple guys sitting out, and they got the kid Marquise Wright back, and they'll be much improved. You know, Siena's traditionally a very, very strong mid-major program, and they'll be a strong program in the MAC this coming year.
All right, the second of 4 games in the 2K Classic will be either the Bryant Bulldogs or the Prairie View A&M Panthers. The folks at the 2K, which they reside up in New York, they have yet to decide which one of those teams will play us. It won't be a tournament type deal. We'll know before the season starts whether we get Bryant or Prairie View. They just have to decide, but both of those teams will be coming to the Siegel Center on November 16th. That is a Monday night after the Friday night start between the Bulldogs and the Panthers. Panthers from the SWAC, Bulldogs, pretty good program. I mean, it's not a traditional basketball powerhouse, but they've had some success. They lost in the semis and NAC to Robert Morris this past year.
Yeah, Coach O'Shea's done a great job. He was at Ohio and then left there to go back home to coach at Bryant, and he's done a nice job. And Prairie View actually came in the top half of the SWAC and had a good year as well. So either one of those two teams, we're still not sure which one we're getting here, but we'll be excited to welcome to the Siegel Center.
All right, and then we go to New York City. In Madison Square Garden, in one of the all-time great fields, as it's turned out, the VCU will play against. We've got on.
Glad you're so excited, Robbie.
On Friday night, November 20th, and Sunday, November 22nd, it's either the Rams against Duke, Wisconsin, and Georgetown. Duke and Wisconsin played for the national championship last year, and then Georgetown, also one of the great NCAA teams, one of the great basketball blue bloods. How is it to be in that group? I mean, they decided to bring 4 teams to one of the all-time wonderful venues in college basketball, Madison Square Garden, and it's the Rams, Wisconsin, Duke, and Georgetown. What does it say about the program, do you think?
I think it's a great opportunity for us. Obviously, all 4 programs are very relevant on the national stage and big-time programs. So we're excited about playing 2 of the 3, whichever 2 of the 3 it may be. They're all 3 very good teams. We played Wisconsin this past year when I was at Chattanooga up there, and they've got good players returning with Nigel Hayes and Bryson Koenig, and then obviously Duke has arguably the top-rated recruiting class in the country to add to Emil Jefferson and Grayson Allen, and then Georgetown has Devontae Smith-Rivera back and Isaac Copeland. So they'll all 3 be very, very good. But, this is a great opportunity for us, especially early in the year, to, go up there and be a blue-collar, be a hard-working team and really put our best foot forward on a national stage and set the tone for the rest of the season.
All right, so that's Friday night, November 20th, and then Sunday, November 22nd in Madison Square Garden up there against either Duke, Wisconsin, Georgetown. When will they tell you? Do they give you any idea of when we'll find out who will play in that first-round game?
We should know by the middle to end of the summer. They're still trying to figure out what they're doing, and there's a lot of politics involved with TV and some different things. So we'll know probably by the end of the summer or early fall.
All right, then game number 5, we come back here after the Sunday game in the 2K Classic and play Wednesday night, November 25th. For the first time in 15 years, the American Eagles will be coming back to the Siegel Center. Mike Brennan in his 3rd year as the head coach. They lost 71-61 on February 3rd, 2001 to the Rams when they're in the CAA. They're in the Patriot League now, but always a team that's right there. They're in the finals, I think, last year, the Patriot League tournament. They lost, but it's a team that is no stranger to the NCAAs.
Yeah, they returned their top scorer, Jesse Reed, who's a good player. And part of it, when you're putting together a non-conference schedule, you want to play teams that will prepare you for the conference. Like you said, Coach Brennan, he was with John Thompson III at Georgetown. They play a Princeton-style offense. They play very similar to how University of Richmond plays. So you want to have a team in the non-conference that'll prepare you for some of the different teams that you'll play in conference. And American will certainly do that. And they've got a really good guard in Reed who can really score.
All right, and then Saturday, November 28th, a rematch of sorts. Rams had beaten Old Dominion 4 consecutive times, have been lost down there at the Constant Center this past season. We play Old Dominion back here in the Siegel Center on a Saturday afternoon game. They lost 67-60 to Stanford. Again, it's a great rivalry, one of the great rivalries. You were a part of some really good Old Dominion VCU games, and I can tell you that after last year, I would imagine it's going to be just as tense and just as exciting as Old Dominion comes and makes a return trip to the Siegel Center.
Yeah, it'd be fun for me personally to get back into the rivalry, and obviously they're a good team with Trey Freeman and Aaron Bako back, 2 of their top scorers coming off the NIT run. So Coach Jones has done a good job getting them revitalized and getting them back going here in short order. So we'll be excited. It's always fun to play in rivalry games, especially when they're at home. And I know our fans are certainly looking forward to that and trying to have a different outcome than last season.
Now, as you look down the line in this game, is this a game you'd love to play until further notice?
Yeah, we'll continue playing it. This is actually the last year of the contract, but we'll renew the contract, and I think it's a great game for both teams. And Old Dominion's, doing well. They came in, they were right on the bubble till the very end this past season, and they'll have another really good team in Conference USA. And they're recruiting well, getting good transfers, and doing a really nice job. So that'll certainly be a team that I think our fans want to see us play them, and their fans want to see us play them, and it just makes a lot of sense. It's close, it's easy to get to for both folks, and it's a really, really good rivalry.
And actually some sobering news today. It was announced on the ODU website that Jeff Jones, the 3rd-year head coach, has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. It's very favorable that his return will be by the time the season starts, but obviously our thoughts and prayers go out to Coach Jones. One of the great college basketball coaches. I know people here in Richmond are very familiar with him, not only at University of Virginia, but also at American and now at ODU. So tough news for Coach Jones and his family, but they expect a really good recovery for the 3rd-year head coach at ODU.
No doubt. We're certainly thinking of him, and he's in our prayers and thoughts, and he's a fighter. He'll be back. He's a fighter.
All right, so we start on November 13th against the Siena Saints, a Friday night. Then we play Monday against either Bryant or Prairie View on November 16th at the Siegel Center. Then we go to New York for games 3 and 4 on Friday, November 20th. And then Sunday, November 22nd against either Duke, Wisconsin, or Georgetown. The end of the month ends with November 25th, a Wednesday night game against the American Eagles at the Siegel Center. And then Old Dominion comes a call, and the 6th game of the season in the non-conference schedule will be on the 28th. That's a Saturday against the Monarchs as we resume that long-time rivalry. This is what we're going to do. We'll take a quick 60-second break, give Coach and I a chance to catch our breath a little bit. When we come back, we've got December right here. We're going to go to Atlanta a couple of times to play some ACC teams. We'll tell you about that, plus some other NCAA teams. If you like teams that made the tournament the year before, you'll love the month of December schedule for the VCU Rams. We're live here at Home Team Grill on the Fan, getting ready for the VCU baseball game against Dallas Baptist. That's an 8 o'clock start. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more after this on a special Will Wade show here in the Fan.